Okay, hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Naushafiqah Jalabiti Razaidi, and today I will present to you my organization pattern and my main point. So the organization pattern that I choose is topical, and then my main point, I have two main point. The main point one is social media affects mental health by exacerbating any existence of problem with low self-esteem. People share their photo or video on social media. Very difficult to avoid from making comparison on other when you saw their feed on social media. Eating disorder are subject covered in most high school health classes, and many people can remember a time in their teen lives where they stood in front of a mirror, critique one body part of or another part of their body. They compare themselves to the face and bodies they saw in magazine or movies, and will have negatively affect their self-respect and insecurities. The second point is social isolation. Fear of missing out, or FOMO, become overloaded with social events and activities to avoid FOMO, which it can impact sleep and eating habit. FOMO can trigger anxiety or feeling of loneliness. And the last one is FOMO could influence some teens to do something unsafe or that they would not typically do without considering this consequence. So that's all for my organization pattern and main point. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Naushafiqah binti Sulaiman. Now I'm going to talk about my topic. I choose cause and effect from my organizational pattern for the effect of bullying. My main point one is the main causes of bullying are varied, but there are some bigger buckets that bullies tend to fall into. One of the causes is bullied themselves. Someone who bullies others might have experienced bullying, maybe by their parents, their abusing step-siblings, or even from someone in their neighborhood. Bullies often lack empathy as a result of their perception of what's happened to them, and they want to pay that negativity forward. And next one is a frustration or envy. Bullies may bully people who are doing better than them at something, be it grades or athletics accomplishment or promotions of work. The bullies look to undermine the other person's skill with acts of aggression only to level the playing field. Bullies often lack physiological well-being, so there's a lot of comparison being done in their heads, and that leads to frustration and envy. Main point 2 is the effects of bullying. There's two terms of effect. First one is a short term effect of bullying for the bully. While it can be difficult to empathize with the bully, it's essential that parents and school officials recognize that bullies engage in bullying behavior for a reason. Without help, the behavior will continue and potentially worsen over time. Effects on the bully can include poor school performance, missed school due to suspension, increased distress, increased truancy risk, difficult maintaining social relationship, increased risk of substance abuse. One longitudinal study led by a group of scientists in Norway investigated the long-term physiological effects of adolescents. Results of this study indicate that all the groups involved in bullying during adolescence, both bullies and victims, experience adverse mental health outcomes in adulthood, while the victims showed a high level of depressive symptoms in adulthood. Both groups experience an increased risk of psychiatric hospitalization due to mental health disorders. For long-term effects of bullying for the bully, is without proper treatment, bullying behavior is likely to continue into adulthood. Risk of spousal or child abuse, risk of antisocial behavior, substance abuse, less likely to be educated or employed. Childhood bullying has serious effects on both short and long-term health of children. Immediate intervention and long-term follow-up can help mediate some of these effects. It is imperative that schools, families, and communities work together to understand bullying and its consequences and find ways to decrease and hopefully eradicate bullying both in schools and communities. For the conclusion, with immediate and proper mental health treatment and support system in place, victims can stave off some of the potential long-term consequences of bullying. Without intervention, however, kids are at risk for the following: chronic depression, increased risk of suicidal thoughts, suicide plans, and suicide attempts, anxiety disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, poor general health, self-destructive behavior including self-harm, substance abuse, difficulty establishing trusting reciprocal friendships and relationships.
Thank you, Shafika. I think your main points are good enough already. Moving on, the organizational pattern that I chose is simple listing or enumeration, which basically means the items are named as if in a list where the order is not important. My main points are: reading reduces stress and helps you sleep. The second one is reading can help to improve your mood.
Thank you, Raha. I think that your body of content is very informative and easy to understand. Now, for my body of content, I have came up with two organizational pattern. The first one is a topical pattern, where the first main point is developing or using new ingredients in cosmetic products comes with certain liabilities. My second main point is, in some countries, such as China or United States of America, it is still very popular to test cosmetics on rabbits. Now, for my second organizational pattern, I'm using the how and effect pattern. The first main point is, although they are not required by law, several invasive tests are performed on rabbits, mice, guinea pigs, and rats. The second main point is, at the end of the test, the animals are killed normally by asphyxiation, neck breaking, and decapitation. Now, all this I will then slowly insert my short points and to elaborate more on my main points. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I would like to choose definition and example for my organizational pattern in my speech. This is because I can give more knowledge to everyone what is migraine. Next, my point is emotional stress and hormonal changes. Emotional stress involves the experience of negative effect in the context of psychological stress response that includes cardiovascular and hormonal changes. So, emotional stress and hormonal changes are related. During stressful events, certain chemicals in the brain are released to combat the situation known as the flight or fight response. The body's autonomic nervous system controls your heart rate, breathing, vision changes, so it will release chemicals that can bring on a migraine. Other emotions like anxiety, worry, and excitement can increase muscle tension and dilate blood vessels that can make your migraine more severe. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Zarit. I think you used the organizational pattern perfectly for your main points. I chose cause and effect as my organizational pattern in speech so that people can avoid from getting obesity by hearing on my speech. Here is my first main point. The first cause that I think causes obesity, especially in children, is environment factors. This is because children nowadays spend more time in front of the television as their main entertainment, different to the children back in the 90s. Spending too much time on television and other devices has brought these children to be lack in physical activities. Besides, the COVID-19 issues has minimized the movement outside for their safety, which now became a habit for them to stay inside the house. From this, I can see a lot of children become so addicted to video games instead of going out and play with their friends. Lack of movement activities will make the risk of getting obesity higher. This is because the energy that they got after eating is not being used.
Hi Rachela. It was a very interesting main point, and I cannot wait to see your full speech. So, yeah, thank you.